Come from every quarter, from the north, south, east, and west, to clear the way to freedom for the land we love the best. We've left our occupation and home so far and near, but when the gold beats gather up, you raise a song of cheer. Good morning, Mr. Zip, 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 with your haircut just as short as mine. Good morning, Mr. Zip, 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 you're surely looking fine.
Hello and welcome to a part of history. In today's video, we are looking into trenches and the front line of both World War I and II. So we're going to explore the horrific conditions that these young men were going through in the name of war. The location I'm at today has been used in TV and film. Most notably, Downton Abbey had scenes filmed here. I came here myself to get a feel for what these guys went through during World War I. And although there was not a lot of danger here, apart from maybe the odd bit of barbed wire, I still got a sense of the harrowing feeling these young men went through. On researching this topic, every single thing I'm finding out just makes it worse and worse with the horrific conditions these guys were going through. A story I've heard is that a lot of times on a guy's first day on the front line, he would be told not to look over the top. And in that moment, look over and he would be shot in the head and killed. As the war was raging on for over 2 years, it was obvious that these soldiers were actually having to live in those conditions. So they brought in engineers and they made underground layers. And these layers and trenches were actually big enough to circumnavigate the globe. I'm now standing in a recreation of a German trench. They had the higher ground on the Western Front, so they were nowhere near as waterlogged. Also, an advantage they had, being on the higher ground, was a view down towards the English and Allied forces. There was actually chemical warfare in World War I, which again did shock me. There was mustard gas and also chlorine gas. So the Germans waited until they had a northerly wind, and then out in no man's land, they had laid pipes that would then release the gas. This gas is heavier than air, so it just sat along Earth's surface, and gradually as it got to the English defences, it would have sunk down into the trenches and it killed thousands of people. Mustard gas as well. When it was cold, it would stay a liquid, so no harm done. But as soon as one of the soldiers would go underground to get some rest, maybe some sleep, he would start to heat up and the mustard gas would be released. And this would be excruciating. If it hit you on the skin, it would burn you from the outside in. If you breathed it into your lungs, you would literally be eating yourself alive from the inside. I myself am not a historian, but I'm fascinated by history. And I hope you are too. I've been in almost tears looking at some of the very rare footage and pictures from World War I. And I've decided in this video to not show any, although it is readily available on YouTube. These soldiers had legs blown off, They had their jaws shattered by shrapnel, their skin burned from their face. In between grieving for a lost friend on the battlefield, the soldiers would look forward to letters from home. It was the one thing that gave these guys strength, the one thing every day that they looked forward to. I'm sure on occasion soldiers even ran over the top, which means running towards the enemy front line. It would have been suicide. The conditions, the gases, the horror of seeing what is happening, your friends being piled up in a shell hole. You have shell shock yourself. There must have been men that went over the top deliberately.